Hey Dave, really great session last week, mate. Final points of the session were trying to improve mostly your consistency of your strike. Still working a little bit towards really trying to get the club back down to the ball, obviously in front of it slightly, getting the hands forward a little bit more into impact. And we found that your biggest problem was from the top of your backswing. If we just take this back here, if we take a sort of rough measurement there and then up, okay, look at 80 degrees there. What should start happening now, if you look at Grant in the middle, it's probably about as good of an example, get my words out, as you'll find. Now let's take this here, middle of the ball, straight, right, call it 80 degrees. Now what should be happening here is you start down, butt end of the club should work almost away from you, so it should work down and away, which will then almost actually slightly increase that angle in your wrist there. What actually happens is the club comes straight down this way, so if we take this down to P5, so if you think we've got an 80 degree angle to start with, oh, wrong one, over. You can see there that angle's already increased. Now, what we wanting to be seeing is that angle, like I said, slightly decreasing, sorry, as you start coming down. We just start Grant down there. You see there, as he starts down, you can actually see the shaft actually getting closer to his shoulders, which means that the wrist angles have increased, or decreased rather. You can see there a massive decrease. Now, what that allows Grant and obviously other top pros to do is, as they come into the impact here, the button of the club is leading in, hands ahead at impact, allow the club to still be working down as it comes into the ground. Whereas what you can see happening here, if I just get rid of these, as we see, the button of the club's already starting to raise up here. As we get roughly into impact there, you can see the shaft's actually leaning back slightly, meaning that you're going to be hitting up on it a little more. Club head's overtaking the hands, and you're going to hit some of those quite thin shots, or if you don't manage to get up in time, hitting the ground before the ball, which, as we know in the past, we've had a bit of an issue. So you thought really was when you got to the top of your backswing, so we'll just take this back, was to feel as though you were going to try and get the shaft closer to your shoulder. Okay, so if we take that measurement there, so if we start down there, you can see how the clubs come down, and the butt end of the club is actually working this way. So if we start that down there, see how the butt end of the club's working away from your body, increasing those angles in your wrist. If we just run this through, if we get into this position here, alright, yeah, we've noticed that your head translated back a little bit. We're going to keep working on that. See how much further the hands are at P6. If we take this back, see how much further the back of the left hand's travelled. You see Grant here, so just on his right thigh, a lot closer to the ball. See how much further the hands have travelled, and the club's still in the same position. That allows you then to release those angles into impact. This is quite exaggerated, but you get the idea. Allows you to get a really decent amount of shaft lean coming into impact, which, amongst other things, like I say, will help you increase your consistency of strikes, will help you improve that, but it'll also actually help to get more speed in the right areas. Now we know you don't really lack for speed anyway, but a little bit more is always nice. So I can't really see that being too much of an option. So like I say, if we just compare those two angles there, you can see completely different into impact. A much improved position. Best of luck with it, pal. If you've any questions, give us a shout. I'll speak to you soon, mate. Bye bye.